The offseason lull is still in effect, so let's start a new series, Top 5s by Position.
Welcome to the Rines Report with your host, Tristan Blake Rines.
Starting things off with the quarterback position, Deshaun Watson of the Houston Texans, and he's the number 5 quarterback on this list. Well, because the dude is uber talented, and he hasn't even reached his full potential yet. The Houston Texans doing him a disservice by trading away his go-to weapon in DeAndre Hopkins to the Arizona Cardinals this offseason. But Deshaun Watson still has yet to reach his ceiling. There are still some pretty adequate tools around him. The defense is still pretty good. The offensive line got better last season, and offensively, you've still got a couple of decent receivers, Will Fuller and Randall Cobb joining via free agency. So Deshaun Watson is number 5 on my list because without him, the Texans don't even get close to winning the division this year. Looking at the schedule the Texans have this year, I think that they could win around 10 to 9 games, possibly the division, and that is not possible without the play, without the leadership of Deshaun Watson. I think he could very well surpass 4,000 passing yards, over 25 touchdowns on the season, and if he wants to take a step forward this upcoming year, reducing the interceptions. Last year, 12 interceptions, so if he goes under 10, I'd consider him to be progressing in the right direction. A lot to, overcome this year, and his development, he's still getting better year to year, but Deshaun Watson makes number 5 on this list heading into 2020. Number 4 on the list, quarterbacks heading into 2020, it's Drew Brees of the New Orleans Saints. And Drew Brees is in his 40s entering this upcoming season. This could very well be his final season in the NFL after breaking all sorts of records, after having, achieved glory with a Super Bowl win. And this final season, potentially, is very much so about achieving another Super Bowl victory once again. Drew Brees has won one time. Super Bowl 44 was a Super Bowl, MVP. It was a huge, leap and a huge moment for the city of New Orleans. But as Drew Brees enters the final years of his career, trying to achieve glory, add to the resume, adding another ring into the trophy case, Drew Brees is number 4 on this list as he is still one of the most accurate passers in the NFL. And while he was hurt for a good portion of last season, even returning after, his thumb was injured on his throwing hand, was still one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the NFL last year. I expect a lot of the same this upcoming season. Over 4,000 passing yards, probably over 35 touchdowns, and with his efficiency, not a lot of interceptions thrown into the mix. He's still got Michael Thomas, the offensive player of the year on the roster, and his other go-to weapon, running back Alvin Kamara, is a versatile running back threat that can take passes out of the backfield, as well as run between the tackles. New Orleans Saints are still stacked with talent all over the roster. Head coach Sean Payton obviously doing a wonderful job of managing talent and, salary caps. So Drew Brees is going to have a lot, to look forward to this upcoming season, and I think he is the number 4 quarterback on my list. Number 3 quarterback heading into 2020, Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens, the unanimous NFL MVP from last year, is number 3 on the list. Well, because he does have one, kink in his game, but the versatility of Lamar Jackson is still an incredible sight to see, making the Baltimore Ravens one of the most anticipated and exciting offenses in the NFL this upcoming season. I really do like what Lamar Jackson brings to the table. He has a lot of efficiency in his passing game, but the versatility, over 1,200 rushing yards last year, 7 touchdowns on the ground, makes him an explosive, unpredictable threat. The one kink in his game is the amount of passes per game. Lamar Jackson ranked in the bottom 10 of quarterbacks who threw over 200 passes last season, so they're not trying to get Lamar Jackson to throw the ball a lot. Not the most efficient passer when he's throwing tons and tons and tons of times. Over 34 passes doesn't result in a ton of wins for the Baltimore Ravens. And if Lamar Jackson can continue to improve his passing ability, if he can continue to, be smart with the football, not cause a lot of turnovers, the Baltimore Ravens are going to continue to get better and better. Adding more pass rush this offseason puts them in an even better position. And Lamar Jackson at number 3 on the list seems really smart. I think he's going to still run around the 800-yard rushing mark, probably get a handful of touchdowns at the very least. Passing wise, over 3,000 yards. We can expect over 20 passing touchdowns, and the turnovers are where it's going to be a little bit of a gray area. If he's going to throw more interceptions this season, well, it's because defenses are figuring out how to make the Baltimore Ravens pass. But as long as he's efficient with the ball, doesn't make a lot of mistakes, I think he gets under 15 interceptions this season. Number 2 quarterback heading into 2020, Russell Wilson of the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson has been one of the best leaders in football, being able to help carry a Seattle Seahawks team to the playoffs a number of times, and in a very, very, very tough NFC West with the NFC champion San Francisco 49ers, the Arizona Cardinals getting better, and the LA Rams still nothing to scoff at. Russell Wilson is, in my opinion, the number 2 quarterback in the NFL right now. One of the more efficient seasons from him last year, over 30 passing touchdowns to just 5 interceptions, and then on top of that, 4,000 plus passing yards, along with 3 rushing touchdowns and over 400 yards rushing on the ground. So Russell Wilson, nothing to scoff at, and the running game can still, open up the defense and keep them on their toes, having to spy the quarterback in a lot of situations. Russell Wilson, one of the better veteran passing presences in the NFL. He's already got a lot on his resume, but I think this year he could be one of the contenders for the NFL MVP as long as he keeps his performance up, his play in a good spot, and the receiving core getting better. Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf entering his second year, Jacob Hollister in his second year with the organization. Running back wise, they still have a nice commodity backfield there. Offensive line getting a little bit better. Defense adding some more talent in the draft. So Seattle got a little bit better this offseason. Russell Wilson is still going to continue to be a dominant presence in the NFL, still going to be a contender with the Seattle Seahawks, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and he lands at number 2 on my list. And then finally, the Super Bowl MVP, number 1 on the list, and you probably knew this walking in. Everything else was a little bit of a question, but Patrick Mahomes is the number 1 quarterback on my list. Patrick Mahomes is an incredible talent, and he honestly, from what he has said in, shows and interviews and things of that nature, he still doesn't even know how to fully read NFL level defenses. So that's a scary prospect for NFL coaches around the NFL, because the guy hasn't even realized his full potential yet. He's got an incredible talent for improvisation, being able to break down defenses mid-play and then make just some spectacular, mind-boggling throws, incredibly accurate. He's got a cannon for an arm that we've talked about numbers and numbers and numbers of time. All sorts of spots have talked about it, all sorts of channels, all sorts of media. But Patrick Mahomes is an incredible talent, is the best quarterback in the NFL right now, in my personal opinion. And this year, as long as he stays healthy for the full 16 games, I could very well see Patrick Mahomes leading the Chiefs to 13 plus wins with an incredible offense backed by Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Sammy Watkins, Mecole Hardman, getting better at the running back spots via the draft. So Patrick Mahomes is, in my opinion, the best quarterback heading into 2020. He'll still be in the MVP race. And again, as long as he stays healthy, as long as he remains on the field, the Chiefs are absolutely going to be Super Bowl contenders. But thank you so much for watching the video. Top 5 in the NFL. I'm going to keep this series rolling for a little bit. Unless something absolutely big happens regarding the NFL, you're going to hear about it from your boy right here on the channel. And thank you so much for watching the video. Feel free to comment what position group you think I should talk about next in the next video. There's still so many doors open with this channel, so many more potential videos. So throw a position group down in the comments, and that could very well be the next video. But thank you so much for watching. Feel free to stick around and watch some more content. Feel free to also like, comment, share, subscribe, get the bell to know every single time that I'm dropping a video, and I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Adios.